Hi everybody, this is Jack Frost, and this is like another Trans Life Thursday for JReneeUnCut. Yay! So morning everybody now, like this house it's kind of like chaos right now, and if you hear screaming kids in the background, that's just like a common affair. Nobody ever goes to bed here, like, I don't know, it's scary. They outdo me, so that's them partying down in their room, so just ignore it. Um, so yeah, I don't know how you guys have been. It's been a long time since I've done this, and obviously my camera is no better on my Mac of all things, because you can thank the hacker for that. So sorry, it looked really good when I first turned it on, and then as soon as I start going, it's like shit all over again. I'm like, okay. Federal crime is a long prison sentence. I ain't stressing. Anyways, so I don't know. I don't really even know what to talk about. I can't even remember what the heck I've talked about before. But so if I repeat anything, just ignore it, I guess you could say. As always, it would be really awesome if other people contributed. But I think you probably could have thousands of people contributing, and I wouldn't know right now. So if you are contributing and I don't respond, I'm so sorry. And as soon as I learn 6 years worth of computer technology in like the next 3 weeks, maybe then I'll be able to get your stuff, okay? And I love you guys who do contribute if you at all get to hear this. So thank you. And okay, so I thought would be kind of interesting to talk about like transitioning a little bit, because it's kind of funny. Like I don't know. I don't know what everybody else has gone through. I've seen a lot of different stuff, but I think it's really kind of interesting how people take it. It's really weird, to be honest, because, well, for my situation, I don't know what the fuck happened to me, because I don't look the same, like, in any way, shape, or form, and I didn't do a damn thing. So I'm just, like, anamorphing as I go along, I guess. Maybe I'm intersex. That's all that I can think, because it doesn't make any sense. So that's been interesting. It's not like been something that I could even prepare for, let alone everybody else could prepare for. So watching the denial that's been like floating about has been totally astounding. And it's been really difficult too. I could only imagine that people who do choose to go through what they're going through have to probably go through the same exact thing. And I'm sure it probably really sucked for them too. I don't know, it's really weird. Like, in my situation, it seems like every time I turn around, I don't care if you look like Hulk Hogan. It's like you could walk out ripped as fuck, and the same people will be like, oh no, you still look like a pretty girl, and you're like, bitch, please. Like, I mean, seriously, like, it's really funny because people who don't know me, they're honest. Like, excuse me, sir, could you move out the way? Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, they confuse my gender all the time. And I'm like, well, okay. Sometimes that's with, like, makeup on and absolutely no binding, absolutely no nothing. And they're still, like, that one gets me sometimes. I think that's kind of funny. I'm like, wow, I didn't really even realize it was that bad. But it's crazy. And then you'll be, like, around people that you've known for a long time, or family or whatever it is, and they're just like, oh, no, you're just imagining things now. And you're like, Kate, no, that's, I'm not. Can you just accept me for who I am? It's like they're so against accepting anything gay or anything transgender or anything whatever, that even though it's you, and even though they claim to love you, I guess that's debatable, but you know what I mean? It's like, even though all that's going on, it's like they still can't accept you for what you are exactly at that moment, or who you claim to be, or whatever the hell. And I don't understand that, because like I could never do that to my kids. Like if my kids came out, asked me questions, all I could do is give them an honest opinion. I've even had friends like I've known forever, like Yo-Yo. Like, they're like, dude, you look just like a guy. Wow, it's amazing. Like, if they haven't seen me for a while. And then and at first they like it, but see, then it brings out like their own questions, I guess. Sorry, I'm kind of slow like this week. I'm really tired this week, so forgive me. Like, don't ask me why I had to pick this week to start video blogging. I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, it's weird. It's like a lot of the people that I know who yo-yo are this to me is funny. Excuse me, but they're like the same people who have gender questions themselves or sexuality questions themselves, which always really cracks me up because I thought that those would be like the first people who would be supportive, and in some ways it was completely the opposite. And I don't know, it's just really weird. Like I've had some best friends who've experimented like with the same sex. I've had friends who wish that they could. I've had all sorts of friends in the spectrum. Like, duh, you guys hear about all my friends all the time, but or friends that I used to have that I don't see ever anymore because of chaos. But anyways, so it's just really weird because like some of those same people would be like, oh, you know, I'd so be interested in seeing what this is like, or I think I might be this way, or blah, blah, blah. And when I looked like a girl, that was okay to say, I guess, to me. And then the moment I like sort of anamorphed, it was like, this was the part I think that it was because like, forgive me, like, cause I'm really not an arrogant person and not that many people like me. So it's really okay. But there's a couple people that did. And I think the problem was that when they still found you attractive, it made them question their gender identity, to be perfectly honest. And like some of them were like, oh, we think you're more attractive now. And I was like, that's awesome. I agree with you because you know what? Like that was a weird in-between phase for a while there, like, you know? But it was right after that like it sort of changed back to like, no, you look just like you. And I'm like, well, what's a me? Okay, like to me that looks like it's changed drastically. So would you care to elaborate? You know? And literally they're like, oh, you always look like a girl to me. I'm like, well, what the fuck were you saying like just 3 months ago with everybody else? And the people who are like out, you know, they can talk about all of this and it's like no problem. But it's like I have some friends that keep kind of like, you know, crawling back into that closet like it's gonna help or something. But it's weird. I don't know if that's the reason why it happens or what it is, because I do know that it appears that a lot of people are just straight up afraid to talk about it. I know me and who I call my brother Aaron, like he had said it first. He was the first person to come out about being gay, and he's actually just gay. But he was like, dude, I didn't even think like it was an option because of the way that we were all raised. You know what I mean? Like, which it isn't according to the way that we were all raised. But like, literally he was like, I just kept it all to myself. I didn't really talk about it, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even really think about it. Like, it just kind of was like, shpew, like it just went through his brain and he didn't just put two and two together. But the funny part is, you would think that that's impossible, but that's the exact same thing that I did for years. Like, there were some behaviors that I look back now and I'm like, how could you have missed that? You know, like to myself, like let alone any relative of mine. So I'm just kind of like, wow. It's kind of crazy, you know, when you look back over stuff. And I don't even know how I didn't put the dots together, to be honest. I think it was sort of the same situation where it's not an option, so you don't really think about it. But in turn, what did we end up doing? We ended up like burying everything and then having way more problems, you know, because that's what happens if you're not open about who you are. And I think I did talk about that in like a blog a while back. I don't know what it is in this house. It's like way too dry. So I'm really sorry, guys. Like, you would think with a swamp cooler, which I hate those things, by the way. They make me sick all the time, in case you can't tell. But you would think there'd be some moisture in here, but no. But no. I don't know. It's the desert. I'm dying. Somebody please plant me next to the beach. I am merging that direction. Oh my God. Anyways, it's just strange, like, to see it happen. Like, and, it's really weird because they do it to me, like, publicly all the time. Where, like, I've had some friends who, like, friends that were girls and stuff, and they were, like, totally, you know, really kind of moving towards that scene. And then, like, the moment you sort of start looking a little different, it's like, it's funny. It's so weird because you'll have, like, a picture, and it's, like, totally duded out, right? Like, if you were originally a girl, or whatever they claimed, whatever, you know, someone gave you. as a gender, as a sex. Yay, because who even knows? Like in some people's cases, like maybe mine. But the thing that's funny is it's like that's the picture, not the picture where I look like a pretty feminine person. Like, you know, like right now I have some makeup on or whatever, but it's like, no, like where I look like not at all feminine. Like there's not a drop or an ounce. It's like that's the one they pick to go, oh, you look so pretty, lady, or whatever. And you're like, are you trying to make a point? Like, and I even had some of my other friends, like Kimmy and stuff. She was like, I saw that. Come again? Because like, what in the world is that crap? You're just like, okay, you already know that I'm transgender. You already know that sometimes I go out looking one way and sometimes I go out looking another. Are you trying to tell me that you don't accept me for who I am? Or are you just, what's going on? Like, I don't understand that type of logic. I've had family members actually be like, ew, that's gross. And I look at my own photos and I was like, okie doke. I was like, do you realize that you just said that to your own relative? Oops. You know, but sometimes, unfortunately, that is how deep homophobia can go. To the point where people actually aren't nice to their own family members and say insulting, rude things like that. And it's like I'm not gonna rat anybody out. I don't care. I love everybody, you know. But my thing is to make a point, because even the people who are supposed to have your back supposedly won't. You know what I mean? Like suddenly, you know, they push you away and they don't want anything to do with you or however they treat you, you know? And you're just like, well, nothing really changed other than my exterior appearance. I mean, my entire life I have been not at all mentally, psychologically feminine at all. Like, go ask my dingus brothers, they will fill you in. They would sit down all the time and be like, girls are so annoying because bam. And I was like, well, I don't do that and I'm not like that. They're like, well, every girl but you. And even like my brother Mark was like, yeah, you know, I just always looked at you as one of the guys, like until one day you came over and had boobs, like, and then I was like, what happened? Like literally that was pretty much how it went. Like that was the only thing that separated any sexuality to them. And that's how it's always been. Like it was really crazy because, you know, like psychologically, like when you're trying to say, just handle your stress, and no advice that any psychologist would ever give a woman ever helped me. Like I was like, this isn't working. And I would try to talk to like my mom or my girlfriends about like what's going on and why I'm stressed out. And no one could ever like, you know, quench the stress. Like if there was like a stressful situation, I'm not always stressed out. So please do not think that's what I'm trying to say. Dear God, with the stuff that I go through, like if I was always stressed out, I think I would have died by now. Like seriously. But, I'm just saying like when it's like a, you know, through a crisis or whatever. And I was like, man, I don't know how to deal with X, Y, or Z. And then like one day at random, I was like, you know what? I always think like a guy and guys get me. Maybe I should look up guy psychology. And I shit you not. Like all I had to read was like 30 seconds of the article. And like the same problem I've always had for like 10 years was solved. Boom, gone, pounded sand. I was like, whoa, okay. Maybe people should take me seriously now. And that's the thing too, like when nobody will take you seriously about what's going on with you, I don't care if they approve of it or not. There is really nothing that you can do about the fact that I think the way that I think. Sorry you don't like the way I think, but there's like nothing that I can do about it. I'm sorry if like I think as what people have diagnosed or, you know, labeled as particularly male. Oops, sorry, talk to God about it. That's the way I'm made. Get over it. Like, I'm sorry you needed to break out, you know, what they statistically use for men to explain to me, like, oh, this is how you know, just do this. Or stress comes out physically. Like, instead of you realizing you're stressed, you notice that your, like, head hurts or your arm hurts or whatever. That's, like, a typical male thing. It was so funny because I'm totally going to rat out Panda Mike again. But I told Panda Mike that. I was like, dude, because he has the same problem. He's like, I never knew that. I was like, I know. And then he started handling his stress better, so it helps, I guess, to go look something up. And apparently, like, we never look anything up. That's, like, another problem guys have, I guess. So then we just, like, suffer with joint pain, and it's ridiculous. Anyways, so, I don't know. To me, it's like, why would you put anybody that you love and care through that where they then feel uncomfortable being who they are or uncomfortable explaining to you that this is how they operate and think. And like, why would that even bother you? Like, I mean, my whole life I was told, oh, it's okay. Like, you know, girls are cool because they can do everything that guys do too. Like in a lot of ways, you know, you can do whatever stereotypical crap people have labeled. And that's true for the most part. You can do a lot of stuff, at least in America, not everywhere else, unfortunately. But at least it's here for now and other places too. But so if you can say that forever, like, why is it so hard to grasp the concept that I don't think just like what people would stereotype as a woman? Or like, why do you feel the need to force me to operate in what people label as a feminine spectrum? Who cares? Like, what if that hinders me, as it did greatly? Like, that's sad that people would rather hinder you than see you succeed at who you are. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird. I just wanted to bring it up because I don't think people think about it a lot. I think we're so used to stereotypes that we perpetuate them. I know I do. I don't even mean to, and I'm like forever apologizing for it, but we're perpetuating them on a regular basis. And instead of just letting people be who they are, it's like, well, you can't do that because, you know, or just like how I've said before, my mom was like, well, don't tell him that you're transgender because like you might not get a date. And I'm like, well then, yes, that's something you spring on someone. No, hello, think people, like, you know what I mean? Could you imagine? I still can't even imagine that concept. Like, but actually the sad part is that's what most people do is most people, I guess, lie about who they are. And most people sit there and don't tell the truth. And then they paint an image of who they think whoever they're dating wants them to see. And I'm all good with putting your best foot forward. To be quite honest, I don't have a best foot. I think I will probably either not talk, as is evidenced prior, or stutter through everything when I first know somebody. So there's no best foot for me, or I'll offend you. It's like there's like 3 options. Like, I don't know, my existence is terrible. And then I will intentionally try to piss you off for like a good long time to see if you're like an asshole or if you're like worth my time. So I'm like an enigma on like all levels. Like, ignore me. But for most people, they will actually somehow manage to put a best foot forward. I could not ever, even if I tried. And I don't know. I feel bad because that's when everybody gets deceived and stuff. And it's like, it's a perpetuating problem because it's like, that's the same kind of concept people have towards sexuality and honestly towards a lot of issues, a lot of serious issues that really need to be dealt with that aren't changing. Stuff I really don't want to go into right now because like then I'll get sad and I've had enough sad for like a while. So like I'm done with that shit for well, you know, till the next pile of chaos comes. But my thing is it's like just deal with it. Why is it so hard to deal with everything, guys? Like, just deal with it. It's like, if it makes you uncomfortable, then why? Why does everything make everybody so uncomfortable? Why does my sexuality make you uncomfortable? Is it because you have the same sexuality, maybe? But you're afraid that people might pick on you? Uh-oh. You know what I mean? I don't know. And typically that is honestly what I find. Typically I find that people feel like they can't come out about who they are, even if they don't want to live a lifestyle of it. I don't live a lifestyle where I am sleeping with the same sex. Straight up. So, I mean, you can pick what you want to do with your life. You know, but why lie to yourself? And why lie to your family and your friends? And then why tell people who to be? Like, I don't know. There's so much psychology and studies behind people telling, you know, gay people and transgender people, well, you can't be like that, and we're going to throw you out of the house if you're like that, and yada, 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 yada. And the reality is, like, that's the kind of stuff that leads to a lot of really, 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 really bad things. I mean, I know I had anorexia. I know I've talked about that before. There's other people who are transgender that I watched that went through the same goat tripe. Like, same thing. Anorexia, self-body hate, whatever the crap. Over and over and over again. And I used to have that like severely bad. Like I literally went to the gym like 4.5 hours every day. And like I would tell, I forget what was going on, but I remember one time I was at the gym and I was like, you know, those don't ask me what they're called. Okay, I just use everything in there, but I could never tell you what the technical name is. I can tell you how to look hot, okay? I can totally tell you how to look hot. Don't judge me by my stomach right now because I haven't been to the gym and I don't even know how long. So like anything that flexes, that's just from lifting fetuses all day long. But literally it's kind of sad. So imagine if I actually got to go to the gym. But those like weight machine things where you like pull them across or whatever, you know, it's like lifting with your arms and shit, and you can actually use them at different points. It was funny because like I was always trying to get rid of like my, you know, my boobs and like my butt, and it was funny because the guy there was like, you better be careful like how much you do that because, you know, you're gonna lose your boobs. And I'm like, that's the whole plan. And he's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, this was even before I even knew I was transgendered, but I was like, this shit's gotta go, like you know. And he just looked at me like I was absolutely insane. Same with people when I was like, I don't need a humongous ass. Get rid of this. Like, it looks great on other people, but bitch, please, I don't need this thing in my pants. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's funny how people cannot let people be different, you know. I've even watched videos. There's people out there who don't identify as gay, lesbian, transgender, anything, and they just don't like having boobs. I mean, is that really so weird? I guess maybe it is. Maybe. I don't know. For me, my back hates it. So the sooner they're gone or shrunk, the better. Because, oh my God, it's been killing me ever since. But I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird to me. I don't know. Like I said, all I can pretty much say is I don't know, and it's weird because I literally cannot fathom why people feel like they have to run other people's lives. It's like, unless their life is directly affecting you, like, I don't know. Okay. Like, when you have kids, and if your kid's being a punkeramus, I'm probably speaking from experience, right? Anyways, if your kid's being kind of a, you know, little turd, and they're doing it all the time, and you can't think, and you can't get your work done, and you can't do jack shit because they're being naughty, that's affecting your life. That's negative. It has to be dealt with. Like, I get that. That's fine. But, like, when it comes to, like, I do what I want to do with my life the way that I look, and that's pretty much the way that it is. Like, well, I'm sorry that people know I'm related to you or that I was your friend. That's scary. Like, do you see, like, how we've become so unaccepting? Because we're such people pleasers like that. And it's like, and I'm going to be real, like, being transgendered, I'm not even, you know, out there that much. Like, I just do whatever I do. Honestly, I don't even register that I have a gender for the most part, or sexuality. I just kind of live. And then it's just whatever it is. And, like, you do get persecuted, you know? Like, there are people who try to make, like, a really big point, like I said, with, like, the miss or the lady or the ma'am thing. Like Martina and I were at Jack in the Box, and, you know, I was just down in Hollywood, and I had no problem. Like, people were like this one guy was kind of trying to make time on Martina when I went to the bathroom for like 5 minutes. And that's fine with me, other than the fact that it wasn't wanted. So, like, I come over there and I kind of give him the look, and he's like, well, who's this, your husband? Like, there isn't a problem when I go anywhere else. But, like, you know, sometimes when you come back to your hometown and it's like I have nail polish on, it's not even that big of a deal. It's like, here you go, ma'am. And I was like, okay, I look like a dude today. I know this because nobody else got me confused. So would you like to tell me why you're being such a jackass? Like, people just have such a problem with stuff like that. And I think people forget, too. Yeah, my kid sounds like Vegeta, just so you know. Like, I don't know if you can hear that, but baby Vegeta. Seriously. One of these days I need to, like, video record it before it's too late. My friends call her, you know, Miasaurus and all sorts of goofballery because she's like all the time. So if you hear that, just ignore. Some of you have had the fortunate or unfortunate experience of hearing that, having that, like, permanently implanted on your life memories. Sorry about that. Anyways, I tried to get them to shut up. They would not listen to me. They don't listen to me. You know this. I don't have to tell you. But I don't know. It's just weird to me. Like, I don't know. I don't know why people have to tell people that kind of stuff. I don't know why people get so stressed out about things that don't relate to them and why they have to control the way that you are and the way that you look, and why that has to make them feel so uncomfortable, or why they feel like they're better than you. And there's such an us them mentality. I grew up in that. And I'm not trying to like say my parents per se. I'm trying to say like with the churches and stuff that I had gone to, like it was kind of funny because a lot of the stuff that I learned in church, my mom didn't even know that I learned. And she's like, I never taught you that. I was like, I learned it at church. And she's like, what the hell? Like just different crap that happened. So you really got to be careful. Like parents out there who take your kids to any religious affiliation, because you might think one thing is going on and you might find out something entirely different is going on. Let me tell you what. So just always be plugged in to what your kids are doing. Otherwise, anything could happen. Anything could happen, and it could be right now. No, but seriously though. So, there's a lot of that shit. You know, there's a lot of bigotry, and there's a lot of stereotyping and streamlining, and thou shalt go to hell if thou art any different. If you can even get a thou in there, I don't even think that's part of whatever grammar it is. Don't ask me right now. I'm not even gonna give you Shakespeare lessons, okay? Hell to the no. But, you know, it's like, it's stupid. If that's the way that that person wants to live their life, it's their responsibility. If you really feel like it's a problem, let them know, like for them, not for you. If it's a problem for you, then you need to like get a reality check and pull yourself out of their life and put yourself into your own life, okay? Like track with me here. Get out of their life and get your own life, okay? Like that's the problem that we're running into when we have all of these people that are like telling you what the fuck to do every 5 minutes. I don't know. You know, it's not, life doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You know, if you really think it's a salvation issue, I understand that. And it's like, feel by all means, tell people your opinions and then say, but you know what, it's your life, you do what you want to do. Then it's out of your hands. It's not your responsibility anymore. You know what I mean? But people that are like persecuting and don't even have a religious like reason, I will never understand. I'm like, you know, I can understand like someone who, and persecuting period, I don't understand, but like I can understand somebody who's like worried about it or whatever, but I can't understand someone who persecutes period. But especially if you don't have like a religious reason for that, it's like, you don't even have a foundation for this, like other than just, you feel like being a douche. You know what I mean? I don't know. And normally those are the people that actually run into the, oh, well, because God says, and yet they don't follow God at all. So it just cracks me up. I actually follow God. So if I fuck it up, don't think that God fucks shit up. Just know that I kind of suck. But, you know, I actually try. So if that's why I don't have a problem talking about God. I do the best I can. And yes, I screw up all the time. But the reality is, you know, I don't ever intend to be a hypocrite. So, you know, but I think people who are hypocrites should really kind of be quiet, because it really doesn't help people very much. Really. But anyways, like I said, I have no idea what I'm rambling about at this point, other than I just really think that people should just leave people alone and let them be who they want to be. And I really think it's weird how people who question their own gender identity when they're not ready to come out will try to make sure that you don't come out. They'll try to make sure that you don't get to express yourself. It's like, because they can't express themselves, you can't express yourself. And that's like not okay. You know what I mean? Everybody deserves the right to express themselves as who they are. And I think that those people who are doing that should like really stop and just take a look and be like, okay, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, why am I so adamant against my friend or my family member like this? Like, what's it triggering inside of me? Is it making me realize that maybe I feel certain ways? Do I just not want to deal with that? Am I afraid of what other people are going to think about me if I come out about it? Or am I just afraid of what other people are going to think about me because I'm related to somebody who I deem isn't perfect? Which then you got to look in the mirror and realize that you're not perfect too. And that maybe some of us have put up with some shit from you that has cost us our reputations, because I know I've done that for a lot of people that have done this to me. And I'm like, thanks, you know. But it's weird. It's really weird. I think it's funny how humans in general, like, have such a hard time accepting change. I know I used to be like that. Straight up, like, literally, it was really hard for me to accept any form of change. Now, granted, I do have some, like, autistic issues, so that's definitely part of that problem. But, like, now, honestly, like, I don't really have that problem anymore, unless it's more like a concept of change. And how to explain that, I can try, but I don't think it's going to make sense. Like, there's just, like, visual change where it's like, this person and I are no longer friends, or I no longer go here anymore, or do this anymore, or we're not, whatever, you know, this, I don't know, anything. I don't drive the same car anymore. It changed. That's like visual change. That can be a problem for autistic people too. It used to be a problem for me, like, you know, switching schools or switching whatever the hell. But, like, now, like, that, no. Like, a concept change, I'm trying to even think of one right now. I found myself being obnoxious about it the other day, which is why I'm bringing it up. It's like, I guess, like, spiritual change to some extent, where it's like, I mean, it could be anything. I'm going to have to make something up, I guess. Like, not complaining, or realizing that, okay, this was the one that I had. It was the concept of justice. This is funny, actually, kind of. But maybe this will actually help somebody out there in case anybody goes through this. Okay, I have always understood that you can be persecuted, and I have always understood that that happens, you know, blessed are the persecuted, whatever, like I had said, kind of like on the last thing. But I figured at some point in time, like, you get to the justice system, and then justice is served, right? And then bam, like, you handle that shit. Like, that's what the justice system is honestly there for. Like, unfortunately, it's not working like it should. But that's what it's there for. Because, and this is why, there's evil people everywhere. There's selfish people everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go, and it doesn't matter what job it is. It doesn't matter what you do. There's people who want to do things for others. There's people who want to do the right thing. And then there's that shit. You know what I mean? So when I finally had the lovely experience of getting to where I figured, okay, I've done everything I need to do. I have done all of my research. I have got my what is it? Dot your I's and cross your T's. God damn it. I've done everything I need to do, damn it. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm not making shit up. I've got everything covered with every single piece of fucking evidence I can find. Whatever the case, right? You're ready to roll. And so you're like, okay, this is all that I need by understanding of the law. These are the statutes. This is, you know, whatever the fuck, right? You go in there, and then you get hammered by illegality, by the people that you're counting on to uphold the law. And then the only person that you have to turn to is literally God, or an appeal. But, you know, depending on what was the judgment that was rendered, it's like, well, should you even, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get into law right now, but the point is, it was really disappointing to see people that should be there helping you turning around and just being just as bad, you know, submitting to the dollar sign and their agenda, or whatever the crap you want to call it. And for me, like, it took me a while to get over that. Like, it took me like maybe a couple of months, like, literally, because I was like, that's not the way it's supposed to be. What the fuck just happened? I can't deal with this. No. And like with an autistic person, that's it. It's just, no, that's not the way it goes. Back up the train. But then nobody backs up the train. So you're still stuck going, no, you don't understand. That's not the way life is supposed to function. And then nobody helps you because they're all doing their own shit, or have the same evil, nasty mentality. If you knew the situation, you would understand where I'm coming from. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Like, if I say something's evil and nasty, trust me, it is goddamn evil and nasty. All right, but just leave it at that. Like, I don't say something's evil and nasty if it ain't. Like, I'll be like, it's obnoxious or whatever, but no. So when you're on that path, it's like, nobody's helping, nobody's doing anything, you know, and it's just like chaos. Like, I don't know, like, and my brain was like, I don't know how to function, and it was like so let down and depressed by that. And I know, like, as I'm sitting here now telling you that, it sounds really stupid, but that's literally like that sort of like autistic mentality of like concept mentality. Like the concept of law has been violated. The concept of what should have happened has been violated. And I'm like, I mean, even in the courtroom, I was like, what do you mean no? Like literally, like it was bad. Like I don't know how I got out of there alive without having an autism attack, to be honest, because whew, I was like, but this is the law. You know, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like, but this is the law and you're breaking the law and here was the law. Actually, this last time I went to court, let's put it this way. I had all of my laws and statutes printed out because if that ever happens again, I'm not saying it happened with this judge in particular, but I mean, if that ever happen again, I was like, here we go. I'm going to bust this shit out because this also happened to me when I tried to file something once. It was freaking hysterical. I have to share this because it was so stupid. It was all in line with the same problem and the same people and the same bullshit. So, like I said, when evil is like pervasive, when there's a really bad situation and they really don't want to get caught, it can get really, really bad. And that's the situation at hand then. So what happened was I went to go file just some crap that needed to be filed. And as soon as they found out that I was the person who drafted it, originally they were going to file it, but the problem was I forgot to sign a piece. You know, when you're busy writing everything, eventually, you know, you might forget your signature. You know, I don't know. Things happen. So I was like, okay. And then it was like, wait, you made it? Oh, well, we can't file this. And I said, you know, that's actually against the law. It's against the California code or whatever the fuck under this thing, whatever it was now. And she sits there and she's like, well, I don't know about that, but I'm a paralegal and you can't file it. I said, okay, well, as a paralegal, it's your job to know the law and this is the law. Well, maybe if you would have brought it in, then you could show me that. I'm like, it will be far too late by that point in time. You're ruining my case and you're breaking the law all over the place. And then I even got like yelled at by the lady next to her, like to get the F out of there because I was like, you're breaking the law. This is illegal. How can you deny? Because I'm not kidding. It really is against the law. Clerks are not allowed to deny at all the particular submission that I was trying to make. And I was just like, this is insanity. But like, after that, I was like, fine, we'll play by your rules. I'll just carry the law everywhere I go. Let's see what you do now when you gotta deny it in your face. Like, you know, I don't know. That's just the way I decided to handle it. But the concept of that was very disturbing for me because at that point, it's like, well, what do? You have to change your entire schema for life. And changing your life schema can be difficult. I understand that. I don't know if the people that refuse to accept gender change have a hard time changing their life schema. I mean, I've been told, oh, well, we all knew you as this little cowgirl that sang country music and wore boots. And I was like, that is so stereotypical. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, did y'all forget that I like to sing rock music? Like, and rap for that matter? Like, I don't know. It just kind of cracked me up that was like all that I could be according to these people. And I was like, but I did stuff before that too. Like even as a girl, hello. So, you know, sometimes the people you know the most hold you back the most, and be careful with that. You know, it's your life. And I know those same people will try to tell you that's selfish, but really what's selfish is those people trying to make you live for them. That's gross. They have a life and they're probably not handling it very well, from my experience. So how about you just let them take care of themselves and you take care of yourself and do whatever you need to do that best fits your life and circumstances. You guys have my support on that, I'll tell you that right now, because that other shit's ridiculous. So yeah, it's really weird. I think it's really weird that some of the same people who have hit on me in this state will deny what's going on and then try to make me feel bad about it. I think that's really weird. According to one of my friends, it's because I supposedly wouldn't go out with him. I thought that was kind of funny, actually. But, I don't know. I guess vengeance or something. I don't know. I thought that was kind of fucked up, though. I'm like, you've done way more activity than even I have, and you're going to tell me, like, what? Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this hypocritical bullshit, you know? Like, live the way you want to live, but don't do that shit. It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. So I don't know why people keep jumping back in the closet. To me, it feels worse to be in a closet than it does to just come out and be who you are. I mean, when someone's acting like a fucking dick, they're a fucking dick. You know, and that's what they are. And it's like, why should I have to feel bad because he's a dick? I'm not going to feel bad because somebody's a dick. You know what I mean? Makes them look bad. Doesn't make me look bad. I mean, that's their behavior. Evolve, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. And it's really funny how people, like, assume things, you know? Like, people don't look at me and think, gee, maybe something medically happened, which obviously is the case. And, like, no, it's automatically, like, persecution. Not that you should be persecuted if you chose anything either, but it's like people don't even ask questions, which is my point. It's not like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, you physically changed a lot. Did you take testosterone? Or what happened? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't that be the logic? That would be what I would ask. I'd be like, wow, that's so cool. Like, how did you pull that off? You know, like, that would be my question. But I don't know. I guess that's too much, like, thinking. And, hey, Pixie, you want to come say hi? Look, this is my kitty cat. This is my best friend, Pixie. Say hi, Pixie. Say, hi, Mike. Thank you for giving me Kitty Cat and Rebecca Suarez. We love y'all. Pixie, say hi. Now she's like, what? I gotta say something? Oh, you're so cute. Sorry. I was hoping to get Pixie on camera today, so I'm sort of glad that she made her debut. Like, I was trying to do it earlier with Snapchat, but it was not working very well. And, like, my Snapchat is a piece of fucking shit. Like I said, Hacktown. It's really, really, really bad. And, like, I can't see anybody's anything. Like, I basically just get whatever the hacker thinks I'm allowed to see for the day. So he's like, so today we're going to watch. And I'm like, really? Like, what does this even pertain to my life in? Like, you know, it could be like golf, which I really can't stand that stupid game. No offense to anybody who plays it. I mean, I love the concept of golf. I admire the people who play golf. I have lots of friends who play golf, but I suck at golf. So please do not take me to play golf unless you want me to punch you in the head. Literally. So, like, you know, I don't know. Literally. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get out of here. This is, like, ridiculous. Okay, so, peepas, start talking so that I have something to talk about. You can ask questions. You guys can throw up your stories. Don't really throw up, but, you know, put up your stories. I would love to hear other people's stories. My story gets old because there's only one me, and I'm tired of hearing it. So, I mean, you know, I'll continue to talk about it because I think it's always cool for people to have the option to hear other people's stuff. So, you know, these will continue to go up over any minuscule piece of crap that I can come up with, or humongous piece of crap. It just depends on the day of the week, I guess. That came out like a really, really bad entendre. That is not where I was going with that. This is where the editor comes in handy, or the co-host, which right now is Casper, and he's kind of quiet today because nobody's here. So I have to do this on my own. It's scary. I don't know. I do it on my own half asleep because, like, I'm still not recovered from, like, this week's activities. Like, I'm like, oh my God, which is weird because normally I have a lot of energy. So I don't know. So post your stories, talk about your shit, talk about what you're going through. If you have any questions or you just need, like, moral support, watch this and hopefully it made you feel better. If it didn't, then don't ever watch it again. I don't know. Or, you know, go to your own blogs for Trans Life Thursdays and put them up and just let me know you guys put them up and I can put them up on my page because I think that would be a lot of fun. I'm all about having fun, guys. So I think that's why I do like 99.9% of what I do. Like, even though it's a lot of work, to me, it's a lot of friggin' fun. Like, I don't know. What the hell was that? Okay, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go because the house is getting spiritually active. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, have a good evening. I hope you guys have a great Trans Life Thursday. Hopefully this actually uploads to, you know, YouTube before